Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Look, we're at a point here where if you don't laugh, you cry. It's as simple as that. If you don't laugh, you cry. That was we don't say this often. You know, people use the saying often, but for what it's actually worth, we don't normally say a game was actually a tale of two halves. But if you had to take that saying and put on a performance, a game to show as a description of what that actually means, this one right here is that. Wolves 3, Chelsea 4. That was truly a tale of two halves. Despicably, that was a tale of two halves. Because we were, I would say, not even necessarily just brilliant, right? But we were all over Wolves in that first half. And expectedly so, as we should be, right? We were up 3-0. We were coasting. Wolves had no threat whatsoever. We had control of the game. Cool. We had options. We had a good bench to turn to. We had players that we wanted to change and see if we can bring on. With complete freedom, going according to the script. Could not complain in that first half. Beautiful. Jamie Gittins was fantastic. And I think he actually had a really good game. But he got 2 assists. Santos on the score sheet. Tyreek George was put up top once again, which I didn't agree with. I don't know why Mark Gu wasn't in the squad, but he got on the score sheet. Happy days. Esteval, he got on the score sheet. A nice little dink over the goalkeeper. It could not have been going any better. Which is why I asked the question, why in the blue hell did we all of a sudden not just capitulate? I am going to call that second half a collapse. That second half was a collapse. I don't normally like to go in this direction, but it's because of who we played here. And I have to show some respect, but I don't want to show too much because it's Wolves who have been so poor in the Premier League and were so poor in that first half against us, but they beat us in that second half 3-1. And I can't get my head round why, right? How is it that you have the game under your control? You are 3-0 up. You're coasting. Life is great. Then we start to see the same patterns, despite the lineup being completely different. We see the same patterns as we did against Sunderland. The moment the second half starts, everything starts declining. We start declining. Everything starts coming down. Everything starts falling apart. And I don't know why. Now, considering that this is a different 11, pretty much. Yeah, we changed 10 players to start this game. And I was in favour of that. I told you in my preview, I was absolutely in favour of that. Now, a couple of the players that did start, I wouldn't have started. I did tell you guys I wouldn't have started Acheampong. I wouldn't have even started Esteval. I get it, and I think he's someone who can hack it. But he started, he played, he got taken off. Fair enough. I've got no issue with that. He was carrying a yellow as well. We're going to come to that because there's something that I didn't expect to see today, which has made a comeback. But we were completely under control with a rotated team. I don't get why the tempo stops. Why is it we play with a certain tempo, a certain urgency, or not even urgency, we weren't urgent, but there was an energy, and we were playing, and we were in control, and Wolves didn't have an answer. Then we come out for the second half, and it just decimates. It just falls apart. And all of a sudden, we can't play football anymore. It's not even going forward. It's defensively. Our shape, the moment the opposition has a period of the game where they start to show some threat, defensively, we don't just go into a cocoon or go into a shell. We run away. We run out of the ground and we're down the flipping M1. And we're not interested in taking part anymore. We are not interested in taking part any longer. The moment the first bit of pressure arrives, see you later, lads. I'm taking my bag. I'm out. Peace. And they're gone. And it's everybody. As the second half was going along, I don't understand why. Wolves, 20 minutes into the second half, we read this out on the watch along on Shootout. Big up to every single one that subscribed over there and was on the watch along. Much appreciated. Big things coming there this week. Loads of content and the watch along against Tottenham with Paul Cannaville. That's going to be there, so make sure you guys are there. Saturday. But minute 63, 65, 20 minutes into the second half, Wolves had 2 shots on target. We had none. Wolves had 2 shots off target. We had none. Wolves had 1 blocked shot. We had none. Wolves had 35% of the ball. And were being able to generate all of this. But every single time they were going forward, they were looking a threat. And we could not defend. This is the problem here. The problem isn't going up and scoring. Proof is in the pudding. We scored 4 today. You can't ask for more than that. You could technically ask for more against a team like Wolves today. Maybe we could have got 5, we could have got 6. But 4 is more than enough to win you a game. What's unacceptable is conceding 3 against this Wolves team. And in that second half, the way that we threw it away defensively was an absolute calamity. And that is what's baffling me right now, because it's not even like, okay, we're struggling defensively. No, we're not struggling. We can't defend. We cannot defend. Period. We can't defend. Wolves' third goal tells you everything you need to know. Long throw. First ball, Wolves man. It bounces. Second ball, Wolves man. It bounces. Third man, Wolves man. Third ball, Wolves man. It bounces again. Fourth ball, Wolves man, who smashes it, and I don't know what Jorgensen's doing. It goes right through him. But anyway, that is, I have to be honest, at this level, that's unforgivable. We talk about first and second balls. We can't even get the third or the fourth. And it came from a long throw where the box is packed with our players. We can't get to 4 attempts of the ball. I knew we had defensive issues, but this is a joke. Like, I knew we had defensive problems. It's clear. I think everyone with eyes can see that. But like this, man, that's deceiving. That is really deceiving. That is disgusting. That's really bad, guys. Really bad. And on top of that, just to show where everyone's heads is, we concede the second goal. So it's 3-0. They get a goal back. It's 3-1, as expected. I told you in the preview, I thought Wolves would score. Whoa, lo and behold, it's a mistake once again, of course. Buonanotte gives the ball away. All of a sudden, they're on a break, and then we got 2 centre-backs against 2 of their players. Guess what happens? Of course, we lose it. And that's including Tosin and Achempong there. So we got to be honest here. We haven't got anyone that we can turn to that we can go, I can rely on you. There's not one player here. Defensively, there's not one. But they score. They get one back. That was expected. I expect them to score. But then they get the second goal. They score their second, right? And it's 3-2. And we respond a bit after that by going forward. I think it was a throw, header, right into Jamie Gittin's path, and he just hits it. He hits it. Smash. Hits the post, basically top corner, hits the post, hits the side netting of the other side of the goal and goes in. It's a brilliant hit. Brilliant hit. And from a player who today played really well. Jamie Gittins, I thought, was class. He deserved that goal. 2 assists and a goal. Fantastic. This tells you everything you need to know about Chelsea. And my point here, that people need to stop focusing on the attack or going forward, because we're doing that. The problem is defensively. How do we go from scoring a goal of that magnitude to make it 4-2 whilst Wolves were chasing the game, and then we actually hit them with the fourth to now bring that 1-goal gap back to a 2-goal gap with minutes remaining. That should kill Wolves. Mentally, Wolves should look at that and go, we're dead. That's it. We're toast. It's over. We ain't scoring 2 in 5 minutes. How is it we go from that 20 seconds later? 20 seconds later, the ball gets played. They start the game again. 20 seconds in, and we concede. And in what manner? You saw the way that ball went in. I mean, just ridiculous. It's just bouncing everywhere all of a sudden, flipping. We're sending bodies into everything. It's chaos. It's pure carnage. It's pure chaos. There's no organisation. There's no nothing in that defence. It doesn't exist. Correa goes in with the ball into the net. I mean, it's a shambles. But now it's 4-3. And all of a sudden, in the space of 20 seconds, with a game that should be dead, we now immediately have the pressure put right back on us, where we're now thinking, there's still like a few minutes to go. We might actually concede again. This might finish 4-4. That's our problem. We haven't got any grit or any stability defensively to hold ourselves together. And if that's the case, listen, you can go and score all the goals in the world. If you have a weak defence and you have a defence that is a little bit hit and miss, and from time to time it can do a job, you can perhaps rely on scoring more goals than how much you're leaking. But when you're defending in this manner, nah. You got no chance. You got no chance. We got through today by a straw. Legit by a straw against Wolves. This Wolves team who have been tragic in the Premier League, and in that first half were so bad. Some of the mistakes and some of their marking and some of their play was like amateurish. Some of their decisions were, what are you lot doing? And we were picking them apart. How do we go from a game that much in control? This isn't like the Sunderland game where we were 1-0 up and it's all still to play for, and then we let it go. We were 3-0 up at half time with a rotated team. And we almost let everything go against this Wolves team. I find that absolutely borderline unforgivable. And it goes to show how many problems defensively there are in this team. That's the focus here. We have a big SOS, A&E emergency. And if you're in America, the emergency room, yeah? We are in ER with this defense. This is on life support. This needs urgent attention. This defense needs fixing one way or another, tactically or going in, well, tactically, and I would say first chance on the market to be able to resolve this, because this is not sustainable. This defense is not sustainable. This centre-back situation specifically is not sustainable. This can't go on. This can't go on. So, yeah, we're through. And we're about to find out who we're through against and who we're going to be playing in the next round, in the quarterfinals of the Cup. But mate, defending like this was the reason why we let it go against Sunderland, and this is the reason why we almost let everything go against Wolves, whilst we were so far ahead in control, and we actually welcomed them back into the game. I can't comprehend. Like I said, if this was any other team in the Premier League that are doing somewhat decent, you can say, you know what, there's a bit of quality. This Wolves team are a shambles, and we not just rolled out the red carpet, mate. We let them into our house, and we let them stay for free. And just because of time, they had to check out. If they stayed for one more day, I think they would have taken the entire premises and invaded. We would have lost. And why? It's not because we're not scoring goals. We scored 4 today. But we're conceding for fun. This is schoolboy error at the back. Really, really bad. And turns out we're seeing it from our first string and we're seeing it from our second string. And you could argue we're shifting and changing from both to both and we're getting the same results. The quality at the back is not good. Now, on the contrary here, and I do want to say this, in terms of the players that played well, I do want to say, let me get this up. Now, bearing in mind, some of the other results went our way tonight. Liverpool have been knocked out. They lost 3-0 at home. They've got their own problems. Arne Slot is in big trouble now. Tottenham got knocked out to Newcastle, so that's great. Fantastic. I just hope we don't get Newcastle away in the next round. But in terms of the starting 11, like I did mention, it was expected. Hato, I thought, had a decent game. and a decent run out. Fair play to him. Gusto was a little bit hot and cold. Hot and cold. Overall, not bad, but hot and cold. The centre-backs, again, is a problem. It's a problem. Tosin specifically here, problem. Achiampong had a few bad moments today. Problem, considering that we are looking at him and going, you know what, you're the only one that's playing reasonably well. We might have to rely on you. When you watch games, game in, game out, you begin to learn, you begin to understand, you begin to see. And you know what? That's the proof in the pudding. We're in trouble defensively here, man. We're in trouble. Santos got his goal. Fair play to him. Lavia as well. I thought played well. Considering I thought he played well, and it's funny because it was once we saw the changes that we had with Enzo Fernandez, Marco Correa coming on for Malo Gusto as well, and Esteval coming off for a certain someone that I'm about to end this video with, and it's going to be the big bombshell of this video. We were operating all right. Buonanotte was okay, except for the mistake for the Wolves goal. Esteval, decent game from him. Decent game. Nothing too crazy, but decent. Tyreek George playing up front later on the left wing, I thought was okay. The goal specifically got himself into a good position, and he's proving that he can score goals. He's just not a striker. You can tell that and you can read that, but he is scoring, so fair play to him. And Jamie Gittins, for me, man of the match. Easily. 2 assists, 1 goal. Was threatening, was taking on defenders, was moving across. His movement was fantastic. He was direct. He wasn't going backwards all the time. He was taking players on. He was getting through. He was getting into spaces. He was taking risks. He was shooting. He scored. Fantastic goal. Jamie Gittins, I thought, was class tonight. Jorgensen is a problem as far as I'm concerned. I think we've already established that, but he's not our main starting goalkeeper, so I can't really say much about that. And I have to be honest, the players that we all saw come on didn't really make much of an impact. We had Cucurella that come on. We actually saw that he was a lot of energy there, which was good to see, and I didn't mind him coming on. Enzo Fernandez, I didn't feel the need needed to come on. That didn't feel necessary, right? But Romeo Lavia had to come off. He couldn't play the 90 apparently. Neto for Tyreek George. You'd think you'd get defensive stability from that because Pedro Neto is a workhorse. But again, as a collective, Wolves got through. Moises Caicedo, with minutes to go, came on, and even then, he couldn't stop that last goal from going in. But there's one player I'm going to end with. And I was excited to see this guy. Liam Delap, who came on, and I was thinking, yep, okay. I hope he scores. We're 3-0 up. There's no pressure. Mate, just come on the pitch and do you. Little did I know that Do You would be trying to reincarnate Diego Costa, but on Arnold Schwarzenegger steroids, right? I didn't think that we would get Liam Delap trying to actually take people out and commit a crime on the pitch. Liam Delap, what are you thinking? Like, what are you actually thinking? You come off that pitch looking like a complete twat. An absolute idiot. You come on the pitch straight away. For no reason whatsoever, you're pushing players to the ground, you're getting booked. Cheap yellow card. Minutes later, you're going to try and, I'm the big bad wolf here. I'm going to take everyone out, right? Anyone in my way, I'm just going to plow straight through you, move out the way or else, because if not, you're going to get it, yeah? I'm Vinnie Jones. I'm just going to whack you one, right? All of a sudden, bosh, goes in with an elbow. You're on a yellow card. He's like, yeah, I'm going to whack you in the face because I can, because I'm Liam Delap and this is what I do. Mate, what are you doing? What are you doing? And guess what? Lo and behold, we get a red card. Down to 10. Beautiful. I thought we'd put that trend to bed. No. Liam Delap has made a comeback. So, absolutely hilarious. If you don't laugh, you cry. But I don't get how you allow that to get into your head, or how on a yellow you allow to put yourself in that position. You allow yourself to be put in that position to then cost your team and send your team down to 10 men and invite even more pressure, because without a doubt, that also helped Wolves come at us even more. And this was meant to be your return. You're back from injury. You're meant to take it easy. You're 3-0 up. The team have set everything up for you. Nah, I'm going to kick off. And I'm going to go and get a red. And now you're suspended against Tottenham. Brilliant. We were thinking about maybe using Liam Delap against Tottenham. Well, guess what? He's suspended. He can't play. So lo and behold, fantastic. Well done, Liam. Good job. You absolutely smashed it, mate. Yeah, just like you almost caved his face in with an elbow. Fantastic. What a clown. Absolute idiot. This is the problem I had with Nico Jackson, if you lot remember. These sort of antics. And now we're getting it from a player that I didn't expect it from. I got it from Liam Delap on his return from injury. What are you doing? I know he likes to play strong, but don't be an idiot. Don't lose your head. He went and done that. Immaturity. Complete and utter immaturity. And I think we have a lot of that in our team when we're trying to go and get what is basically in the palm of our hands. We can't hold on to anything. We can't hold on to a result. We can't hold on to our heads. We can't hold on to our character. We can't hold on to discipline. We let everything go. Immaturity. What are we going to do about it? This is where I turn to Maresca. At the end of the day, my friend, you're the one that has to get this in order. It's as simple as that. Let me know your thoughts down below. But we are through. We'll see what happens in the draw and who we get. But yeah, Liverpool are out. Tottenham are out. City are through. Arsenal are through. Let's see who we're going to be paired up against. Let me know your thoughts down below in relation to everything. Subscribe, notification bell on. Make sure you're here tomorrow for more content, more videos that will be dropping. Make sure you're sub to Shootout as well. There'll be reaction and also Premier League predictions coming for the next couple of days, as well as looking up to the weekend, the watch long on the weekend with Paul Cannaville, and then after that, Champions League. So make sure you're sub to Shootout as well to catch me over with George. And I'll see all of you on here, and I'll see you on there. Thank you so much for watching, people. Subscribe, notification bell on. See you later in a bit. Take care, and peace.